Yes, in the previous lecture, we have discussed the two designs of macroprocessor, the general purpose, the second recursive expansion design. Now we will discuss the macro processing within the language translator. Means while we are translating, during that the macro processing will be done. Okay, so that is combining the macro processing function with the language translator. Okay, no need to put extra efforts to do first macro processing and then the language translation. Everything will be combined now. So two methods are there for this line by line macro processor, and second is integrated macro processor. Okay. So first we will discuss line by line macro processor. Here the macro processor read the source program statements. Okay, line by line it will read the source program statement and it will perform its function. It will expand those lines in our source code. Okay, and output lines, whatever the output file we get where our macro is get expanded, the output file will be directly given to language processor. It will not be stored somewhere else. Okay, so the whole file containing the macro expanded code will be given to language translator for translating. So we can say line by line microprocessor used as a sort of input routine for assemblers and compiler. Means assembler and compiler will now get as an input the code generated by macro processor. Okay, so this is the concept of line by line microprocessor. What are the benefits? That extra passover will be reduced, like we need not to go again to source file, that directly that source file will be given to language translator. Data structure required by macro processors and language translators can also be combined. Like if you remember in the macro processing, we were using the name tab, define tab. Okay, and in our language translators we use the data structure like op tab, symbol tab. So we can combine the both data structure. Now we need not to make like separate. Okay, so these are also the advantages if we are combining the functionality of macro processors and language translator. And it is also easier to give diagnostic message related to any error. Okay, like if any error is coming in any statement, it will be easy to give a message regarding that. So this is line by line microprocessor. Second is an integrated microprocessor. How integrated is different from line by line is that in line by line the microprocessor is doing its own work and language translator is doing their own work. Okay, both are working independently somehow. Okay, but using integrated macroprocessor, we can give a closer cooperation between the macroprocessor and our language translator. Okay, we can make them more closer to each other. Okay, so using integrated macroprocessor, we can make both macro processing and language translation more closer. So integrated macroprocessor can potentially make use of any information about source program that is extracted by language translator. That means whatever the language translator is getting information from the source program, the microprocessor can also use that information. Like language translator are reading line by line, macro processor can use that information, and wherever macro expansion will require, it will expand the macro. Okay, so here both language translator and macro processor are working like an integrated part. So this is the integrated macro processor. But both this design, line by line macroprocessor and integrated macroprocessor, are having some disadvantages. Like they are specially designed to work with only a particular kind of assembler and compiler. We are not saying that they can only work with languages. We are saying they can only work with the particular implementation of assembler, special assemblers or compilers. They can't work with every type of assemblers and compilers. That is the first disadvantage. Second, like first is the cost of macroprocessor. Second is the cost of language translator. So when we will combine that cost, it will become a large one. So that is also the one of thing. And size may be a problem if the translator is to run on computer with the limited memory. Because as we are saying, macro processing will be the part of language translator. And our system memory size is small, then that memory can't hold the translator who is also having the macro processing facility. So these are the disadvantages of using the macro processing inside the language translator. So these are the references, and till this we have discussed regarding the macroprocessor. What are the macroprocessors? What are the functionality of macroprocessor? How macro will get defined? How macro will be called? How macro will get expanded? Okay, later on we have discussed the features of the machine independent macroprocessor. What are the various designs available? Okay, so thank you for listening this video.